Hello everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to create your own Google Maps API keys and add them to your system. In the system, keys are added in the Settings General section. Here's the General section, Main Settings. And here you see two fields, Google API Browser Key and Google API Server Key. This is where you add your Google Map API keys. Now let's see how to create them. First, you need to log into your Google Cloud Console. Here it is for me. Next, you need to create a project first. Click on this button. A full window appears, and here is the New Project button. Click it. Then name your project. Let's say mine will be called Demo Project. Click Create. The project is being created. All done. The project was successfully created. Click Select Project. After this, we enter our project panel and see that our demo project is already selected, and now we need to create keys. For this, go to the API Services Library section, type Google Maps, and press Enter. All available Google Maps keys appear, and we need to select Google Maps JavaScript API. Click on it. A description of the service appears, what it is, what it's for, and an activation button. Click it. After waiting a bit, we get a pop-up window with our key and the option to go to your Google Maps platform. You can copy this key right from here, or go to the panel, it will still be available there. You can skip key protection for now. We'll set it up individually later. Here in Osmavi, we created our first map key. And now you can go and examine it in more detail in the Cases and Credentials tab. Click on it, and we see our first Maps Platform API key. Here you can click the Show button to see your key. You can also click on the key and go to its settings. What can we do here? We can limit the keys used to certain platforms, like a website. And here we can specify websites where it will work using the Add button. Here on the side are examples, so if it's a subdomain, specify it like this with the subdomain. Note that the protocol HTTP or HTTPS subdomain is specified. If it can be any subdomain, then specify an asterisk. So, this setting allows us to limit the keys used to a specific site. For example, if you're just starting to use our system and are using the domain we provided, a test domain, you can specify that TPS / your subdomain name, for example, it will be demo.codeco.io. This way, you limit your key to work only on the demo.codeco.io platform, and you add a widget to your site. Your site is available at https:/mysite.com, for example. This way, you ensure the map widget works on your site too. And in the future, you plan for your system to work under your domain and be accessible under a subdomain. app.mysite.com, so it will be available under such a subdomain. Accordingly, you add it. So, this way, you limited your key's operation and specified that my key will work exclusively on these domains and nowhere else. In case you encounter any issues with the key's operation, and for some reason it doesn't work correctly, your map won't function, first check these settings. Did you correctly limit access by sites? Is everything correct in these settings? Also, if you don't share your key, if no one else has access to your system besides you, you can remove restrictions for your key and it will work without limits. This is not recommended because if your key falls into someone else's hands, they can use it for their purposes, and you'll pay for additional requests. Also, here in the IP restriction list, you need to ensure that all these settings are functioning and enabled. I will provide a list of these settings in the video description, as well as a direct link to your Google Cloud Console. By default, as far as I know, they are all already activated, but it's worth double-checking just in case. Click here. There's a huge list of all these settings. You can just make sure to double-check that the necessary API keys and settings are all activated here. After everything is ready, after you've added restrictions and set up IP restrictions, you need to click the Save button. As I said, when you click this button, you can see your key. This is how it will look after clicking. So when you click Show Key, a pop-up window will appear showing your key, which you can copy and use in these two fields. That is, insert it into Google API Browser Key and Google API Server Key, after which you need to save the page, and the map in your system should work if you've set up your key correctly. Another key point. If it's your first time logging in and creating API keys in Google Console, you'll need to enter billing info, company details, and link your card. They won't charge you, they notify you, but as you use Google Map API, charges will accumulate, covered by your linked card. That's it. This is how you create your Google Map API key and add it to your system for route mapping, distance calculation, and marking points. Auto-selecting suggested places, and so on. So, as I said earlier, having Google Map keys is crucial for the system's proper function. Thanks for your attention.